Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Southern Gateway Chorus live stream, the place where there are no third wheels, but there are fifth wheels. My name is Zach Holman.
And my name is Joe Hunter, and we hope that the wheels don't all fall off tonight.
Amen. It's been 2 weeks. It's crazy how just the schedule lined up that our entire tech team was on vacation with my girlfriend. That's so weird that everyone was doing that.
Right, and it was really too bad, and then I was off with a quartet.
I know, right?
So, and off is the right word, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's why I might be a little bit red today, guys. I don't know if anybody else knows. I don't know if anybody else is like this. I don't tan at all. I go from white to red back to white.
It's really funny because being of Sicilian origin, you would think I would tan easily, and I don't. I freckle and do all that Caucasian stuff.
Fantastic. Well, guys, we have a pretty fun show planned for you. Gateway's got some stuff coming up that we want to talk about, and we wanted to bring in somebody who knows A, a lot more about it, and B, a lot more about Gateway. We're going to be kind of close to the chest today. You've seen him before. You know him. You know him. You love him. The Music and Performance Vice President for the Southern Gateway Chorus, my dad, Paul Coleman.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Doing great.
The stream has not seen you in a while, Padre. What's new with you, man? What's new with Gateway and you and stuff?
Well, there's a lot of stuff kind of new with Gateway. We're back live now, if you want to say that. We're back person to person, which I don't think we were the last time I was on. And we are at a new facility, so that's kind of fun. And we're on a new night. So we talk about a lot of different things, and a couple of things that we were able to change was the night of the week and a new venue. Not that we had a lot of control of the venue.
Right. And I think
that's just a little bit of change. If you were to go off of the checklist, I think all that's left is like family,
Right.
I agree.
Which Gateway basically is. And we'll get to all those points. We'll get to all those points throughout the night. But let's start off with night of the week. So we're on Thursdays now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
As I remember it, and correct me if I'm wrong, as I remember it, it was one of those things we've been talking about it, kicking it around for a while. And then the whole COVID thing happened and we're in Zoom and we're like, hey, nobody's driving anywhere right now. Now's the time. Something like that?
Yeah, that's what it was. The music team has been talking for probably more than a decade about a lot of things that we might be able to do to kind of switch things up, a new culture, bring in a new culture. And one of the things that came up was the night of the week. Well, what does that really change? And one of the things that it definitely changes for us is that it's on Thursday. You've only got one more day of work left in the week. So you're not piled on. Well, we have a rehearsal on Tuesday, and then you have to make it through Wednesday and Thursday and Friday before you hit the weekend again. So we had talked to some folks who rehearse on Thursdays, and we specifically said, so what's the big buy-in with the Thursdays? And that was one of the things. It changes the energy in the room. And that's what our friend Dr. Jim Henry said during a conversation. I don't think he was having the conversation with me, but that's what I pulled away from the conversation.
So not to cut you off, but so I think you and I have talked about this. One of that being one of the big reasons why we switched is there's just a different energy in the room. Have you noticed that? Like, has that legitimately been a thing since coming back and going to Thursdays?
Well, I think I'd probably ask some other people. I'd say that now I think guys, I think the tell of that is after rehearsal. Before, when we were rehearsing on Tuesday night, guys would go downstairs and they'd kind of fellowship for a little while, but then they had to get out the door. Because they had to work in the morning. And I think now with being on Thursdays, I think we see a lot more afterglow. We see a lot more guys hanging out for a lot longer time after rehearsal and tag singing and stuff like that. So I think as far as that's concerned, we've seen a difference.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily sure that we've seen it on the risers yet, sure. But hopefully that will come.
Well, I think that's a hard one because there's been, again, so much other change. Like, we're in person,
right?
Again,
we're finally
so there was a special energy that went with that.
Yep.
you know, and then, and then, so there's so many other things that are involved with that. You know, certainly there is that I can see the subconscious thing of just saying, it's like you're running a marathon and you're in the clubhouse turn. You're coming around, and you can see the finish line on Thursday versus a Tuesday or other earlier day in the week when you go, oh my gosh, I've got to make it through this.
Right.
Hard to say whether we've seen all the cash in yet, but I also have not seen anything that says the guys are not energetic or willing to go with this,
Right. And I think one of the things that came up, and I don't know if this is just so on the membership side of things, I think that we saw Gateway at its peak, Gateway at its largest, probably roster wise, was somewhere around 160 guys on the rosters. Well, and of course, I know that it was a different time and I know that it was a different director, but Gene Barford was directing at that point in time, and we were on Thursday nights. So it's not a real good cause and effect type of argument, but when we went back to Tuesdays, got a new director, and then quickly things started to fall off to about, I guess, a normal size for a chorus, 80, 90 guys. And so one of the things that I kind of said, that was kind of one of the things that I used in my approach to going with Thursday nights is, hey, the last time we were on Thursday nights, we were at 160 guys on the roster. But again, it was also a different director. It was a different time. It was, things were different.
Yeah, and I appreciate that too. It's just that me being the logical guy, I'm like, yeah, but what are the factors? But
there were a lot.
But I mean, still transitioning back, all those factors were the case. Which ones were they? It's a fantastic experiment. I prefer it actually. Now that we're on Thursdays, it's like, okay, get through it a bit. Then it's exactly what you said. You got one day left, and then it's the weekend.
Yep. And I really do think there's a different energy in the room now. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have created that. I'm stealing that line, but I wish I...
Yeah. Speaking of the energy in the room and also the night of the week, let's talk about the reason you're here, Padre. In 6 days from now? What's going on?
Thursday, the 19th, Gateway's going to be having Southern Gateway Chorus is going to be having a huge... it's kind of a 2-in-1. We're having a guest night, and typically guest nights would be when you're inviting male singers who may want to sing with your chorus, and you're working directly toward involving them, and you have what you call a guest night. But we're actually having a guest night / open house. Because we want families to come. We want to see guys, others, all the guys better halves. Bring your kids if you want. We want everybody. We would like to fill the new facility, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have some quartet singing. Unfortunately, Joe's quartet won't be around for this, but that would have been really fun. And I think
the timing, since they're from New York, it's a little bit of a commute.
Yeah,
but they would have loved to be there for that.
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Well, actually, let's hit on that now, Joe, because that's kind of a direct correlation to this. We're talking about bringing people in to come see how we are and what we do. And what was it, 2 weeks ago?
It was a little over a week ago.
So not yesterday, but the week before.
Right.
You had the guys down here, and they all came to rehearsal. What was the review? Did we get a nice 5-star review? What's our Yelp looking like?
Rave reviews. A couple of things. So I think people who are close to the situation sometimes can't see forest for trees. The new venue is very much like the old venue, right? In the sense that, boy, it gives you so many opportunities. You've got a great place to put the risers and a big space to work with. And then you also have a place where you can afterglow and have conies and hang out. Man, that's a tremendous blessing to have, and is relatively rare, around the country and around barbershopping in general. So the guys were knocked out by that. They were also knocked out by the welcoming, warm environment. they were also just so happy to be able to sing for a live audience that it just
Right.
was an incredible uplift for them. But I will say also, like our tenor John stayed up on the risers the entire night,
Yeah.
reading music, and just said if he could, he would stay. He would have stayed hours more. That it was the most fun he'd had in 2 years.
Which is
It's
so great to
awesome.
hear in general. Like that's just awesome that people who aren't even from here just come in and feel that welcome.
Well, I will tell you, and you got, and what you've got is three guys there who are now you not only huge fans, converts to the whole thing. You know, in other words, they really get the gateway culture, and they get it in a way that said, "Boy, we love it." You know, and I think this is the challenge that we have. You know, as part of a guest night and as part of doing this, and even with an open house like this, is wouldn't it be nice when we talk about 160 members to get to have those over 100 guys up on the risers again? Because whatever you could do with 40 or 50 would be even that much better with 100 in there. The key is, how do you get to that number? And do you do it with a focus on quality, which I know is what we want to do, and that's part of our culture change too, is to maybe turn it up just a little bit more in terms of how much is being asked and demanded of everybody. But can you do that without changing the fundamental goodness of what this chapter has? And there's a lot of that. And people, if you haven't been there, you should come and see, because it's just
Yeah,
great.
if you're going to be in the Cincinnati area, or if you're always in the Cincinnati area, this coming Thursday, August 19th, 19th, 18th, 19th,
19th.
19th,
19th.
stop by. The description in this video, in this stream, has a link to the event page on Facebook. That's got the address of where it is and all the information you're going to need. Just go check that out. We'll be there. We want to see you there too. I will say, Joe, I think you shot us in the foot a little bit. Because we have someone in the chat who says, well, that does it. If Up All Night won't be there, I'm not coming. So, way to go. I will give you bonus points for correctly using the term conies, Mr. New York.
Yes.
I've been corrected enough now that I've had to go that way. Those are hot dogs with chili, but that's okay. It's conies. I get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Dad, back to you real quick. One of the bigger ones that we're talking about right now is the change in venue, and I know we talked about before Joe was on the show permanently. We talked about with Jeff the actual process of no longer having the lodge. This was back way before we were live, and how it went away. Kind of give us the Reader's Digest, and then what are we doing now?
Well, as you know, as I think a lot of people know, we had our own lodge called Harmony Lodge, and through circumstances, going into COVID, the owners of Harmony Lodge knew that it was probably going to be time for them to turn it over or sell it. Just due to multi reasons. The folks, the people that the organization that owned it were not getting any younger, and repairs were getting more costly. We could talk about that all night. Then COVID. So we had pretty much a year to try to find something new. And it was quite by accident that we do what we do, because our best source of anything is the guys on the riser. You know, the guys on the risers are going to be our best source for new members, for ideas, for whatever we need. So we put out a call to anybody that if they knew of any churches, if they just anything that they had concepts of where we could have live rehearsals again, when we would be allowed to have live rehearsals. That's what we just need to get in there and start talking to folks. And one of our riser guys, Mark Culp, he does a lot of community theater, and he said, I know of this place, and he goes, these folks just bought it, and they're trying to open it up as a place where artists can go, where musicians can go. And we made contact with them. We went in, we saw the space. It was originally a Masonic lodge. Then it was Eagles, maybe. Then it was
Just to
a
go history,
boxing gym.
just to go history for a second. Didn't
Yes.
our old rehearsal space also used to be a Masonic lodge?
Started off as a Masonic lodge.
Okay,
Yes.
so there you go.
And then it
Must mean
went
it
to
has
a
good
boxing.
stonework, right?
Yeah, sure it did. I mean, the keystone and everything looked great. But then it went to a boxing gym, and then the folks who own it now bought it, and we've been with them for 2 months now. I wish I could remember when we actually started getting back together live. But we've been with them a couple of months. We did a couple of months outside,
Mhm.
uh, and then we were able just to swoop right in. Now it's not a place where, like at Harmony Lodge, we could leave our risers up. We have to put our risers up and take
Mhm.
them down. But 99% of the chapters in the society, I believe, probably have to put their risers up and take them down every week.
Yeah, I don't know
So
the
Yes,
numbers.
yeah, I
Joe, is
can
that-
attest to that.
Yeah.
Yep, I would attest to that.
yeah. So we just got lucky with other stuff. They've got this nice social room downstairs.
Mhm.
Uh,
With a
so we can
bar, like a
still.
legit, like set, like bar.
Yep. Yeah. Apparently, back in the day, with the the older fraternities, the local breweries would build them
Mhm.
bars. And so apparently they believe that, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name, but they believe that the bar was built by Hootapole. So Cincinnati Brewery, right? So
Yeah.
so that's kind of fun that we get the chance
Mhm.
to share in that area, that space.
Yeah, and the owners have been pretty great to us as well.
Oh,
They're
they've been
super
awesome.
nice, and
They've been awesome. Yeah, just throw them a plug real quick.
yeah, go for it.
If you're looking for space around the Cincinnati area for any community theater type stuff, look them up at Basset Hound Sound. Basset Hound as in the dog. Sound. It might be Sounds. But
And
they're on Vine Street.
if you want even more information than that, in the description of this video, there's a link to our event page for Thursday, and it has the address on there. And while you're there, you may as well go ahead and RSVP and come on Thursday, because that way you can see what it all looks like before you rent the place.
That's
And
right.
if you want to just go with the mnemonic, Basset Hound Sound is the same as Barbershop Harmony Society.
That's right.
Oh, you're right.
BHS.
You're right. I'd forgotten about that.
A
Yep,
match
VHS.
made in heaven.
Yes. So we on Thursday, I think is going to be a ton of fun if
Yeah, man.
we're bounce back to the
No, go for it.
to the guest night or the open house
what are you
there.
expecting is gonna happen compared to like what has in the past in other guest
Well,
nights?
Okay, so I'm fortunate, and I think Joe may be fortunate enough as well to be in on some of the emails that are flying back and forth as to what's going on.
Sure.
So I know we're going to have a couple of quartets singing, and I know we're probably we want to welcome everybody in. We want to take some time and get to meet folks that come in, and then we'll. And time-wise, I'm not sure about things, but we want the chorus to sing for the guests. We want some quartets to sing. I think we may have as many as 3 quartets singing, and then afterwards we'll probably invite some folks up on the risers. I think this was kind of a Joe thing. Invite some folks up on the risers and kind of learn a new first page to a song, or
first page or something like that. Learn some new music together.
Yeah, and then we'll afterglow. We'll hang out with folks afterwards and maybe sing
that's
some tags.
that's the other thing for people who don't know, and if this is getting out to some of you, this is the barbershop is one of the great participatory sports as opposed to just spectator. This particular event scratches both itches, because if you've got family and friends, and they can come and enjoy and just have an evening out, and then get to have conies afterwards.
Good job.
And some libation.
Yes.
But for everybody else, you get to actually participate. It's like it's like having golf at the same time you're going to the theater.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So that's
going to the theater.
That's right.
I feel like that's a really good outing. I'd do that.
I've left many divots on a stage.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
And going, if I might just take it for a second, going a step further than that, we talked about how, Dad, you talked about how a guest night is usually when you bring in potential members for the Southern Gateway Chorus. We are an all-male chorus, but bringing in potential members to join the risers for a second, get a feel for it. But this is more of an open house kind of thing. What for those who are not potential members, what are we? What's the pull? Why do you want to come to this if you are not a potential member?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is so that you can see the fraternal aspect of what's going on. We do a lot of stuff where it's kind of when we're on stage, it's the guys, but every other time that we do stuff, it's for the entire family. So I think we're pretty much family oriented. I think we always have been. I joined Gateway when I was 15, and I was back then it wasn't as big of a deal
Just out
where
of
you would have
curiosity,
to
how
have
long ago was that?
years ago.
Gotcha. Cool. Continue.
Um, and back then it wasn't as big of a deal. If you were under 18, they kind of recommended you have an adult with you. But back then there were also guys that would be willing to take you on if you did something stupid. And as where now, if you are under 18, you have to be supervised, you have to be managed by an adult. So
Sure. And will there be Jeepers, buddy? COVID.
Yeah.
It's not. Don't freak out. It's not.
it's all up here. It's all up here.
Will there be some group tag learning singing?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
Oh,
I think
I'm sure.
I think I've heard of at least 3 different people that might be out teaching tags. I think I heard that you might be one of them, as long as you can learn some shorter tags.
All right, I'll teach a shorter one. Jeepers.
Not that anyone noticed the last time you did it.
Yeah. It had been all right. I'll take a second for that one. It was like our first rehearsal back, or second, or something like that. I don't remember, or in the new place, and Dad and Paul Gilman were running the rehearsal, and they were like, "Hey, Zach, go teach a tag real quick." And I was like, "Okay, sure. Here's the one I've been thinking of. Let's do that." And I swear to God, it took 25. I forgot how to teach tags. It is not like riding a bike. I hadn't done it in so long, and I felt so embarrassed. So I'm looking for some redemption. We're going to get that. I've been teaching tags like nonstop since then, to the quartet, or after Gateway, all that stuff. So we're getting that practice in. We're going to get it.
Yeah, at minute 20, I was ready to break out the hook, but I didn't.
It was rough, man.
And there again, there's a difference. I mean, being from New York originally, you would have been somehow the hook would have occurred from it would have been bloody, and people are just bloody. Nicer. People are just nicer here.
Well, that's because it's not near contest time, and I will let you in on a secret. Around contest time, we definitely move to full contact barbershop.
Yep.
I get it. Yeah, but you guys, it's Midwest. It's nice. People are very nice. Just to go back 1 second to the question that Zach asked about, what is in it for people who are not up singing? I think that there's something just essential. When you talk about the fraternity, there's something uplifting and I think soul-filling about the whole process of doing this sort of thing. And I think that's a family thing. And to see all people kind of rowing in the same direction, and also seeing people willing to get involved, and how many people do have jobs and are doing things. It's a very positive, and I think can be a fun and uplifting night for people.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And even for those who are not like potential members,
correct,
there will still be singing to be done. There's still, I mean, for teaching tags and stuff, go learn a tag. It's great. You can sing it, and everybody can do that. And then afterwards, there's, the conies and libations, if I may be Joe Hunter for a second, are not just for the potential members. It's for the people who are there. That's why we do that. I think it's going to be a fun night, man. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be great.
So we were talking a little bit before this, just to get a little more into what's waiting for you if you come to guest night or any rehearsal, and possibly even join up, about just some of the stuff that we've all kind of been through as members, just some of the stories and stuff, some of which we will not discuss on the stream.
Good idea.
But right, but I mean, you two have more of those than I do because I've been around for 18 years, and you guys have been around for more than 18
Yeah, I've been.
years.
Mine's like 18 plus.
Great, 18.
Yeah, mine's 18 and a skosh.
I feel like we should rename the stream something about like barbershop 18 plus.
18 plus, yeah, you'd have gotten a whole different crowd.
That's not good. We can't do that. Oh boy. But tell us. Some
Family
of
fun. Family
yeah,
fun.
Exactly. It's definitely not 18. Okay. But you guys, tell me about some of me specifically, but the audience as well. I love how I fan away the audience. We love you guys. Some of the just things that have happened because of the barbershop stuff into now. We've heard a lot of people talk about how, they found barbershop at this age or they found barbershop recently, and boy, do they wish they had it earlier. And Dad, the first time you were on the show, the discussion came up. You did find barbershop at an early age, and thank God for that. And
Yeah, if not, you wouldn't be here because
Correct.
I also met your mom via barbershop.
via Gateway,
So,
right? Like at a Gateway
Via
rehearsal,
Gateway,
right?
yeah, at a Gateway rehearsal, right. Friend
So
of hers.
sell that for a minute. What do people out there who are not necessarily barbershoppers, or maybe who are and just are not?
Well, I
Gateway
mean,
folk, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can't promise you stuff like that. I can't promise you that you're gonna, meet your
Meet your
future.
wife.
Yeah, I can't promise you that, but I can certainly say that that we are. I feel anyway. I feel that we're pretty much a big family, and the way we do things, how we operate, how we organize. I just think a big family is about all I can really say about it. I hope Joe could probably attest to this. When you first come to Gateway, it doesn't matter if you're Cy Wood or if you're Joe Hunter or who it is. You don't just get thrown in out front.
No.
It has to be right between the guys and the guy, right? And Joe, you could probably address that a lot better than I could because I was
Well, I
thrown
mean,
in.
from my standpoint, and I really respected that. I mean, I wanted to not come in with any sort of sense of entitlement and was not treated as such. And that's, for me, felt more comfortable and the better way to go. And I felt like, the way to do this is to earn it and to be there and to just, hit my marks, do the things I would do and be a good chorus member, and then get involved over a period of time in more leadership kind of things. But coming in expecting to be a leader right away was not something that I was even interested in. Never mind would I like a culture like that.
Right. And now trust me, we've had that before, Joe, where guys would show up and they're like, "Do you know who I am?" I get to do, and our guys, call it Midwest if you want, blue collar if you want.
Yeah.
If you can't walk the walk, our guys aren't going to give you the time of day, and that's just something that we know. So when you come in as Joe Hunter, as most of the guys known from your past quartets, and you're willing to stand on the risers and get in the trenches with them, they're going to respect you a whole lot more than if it's just given to you. And I think that's one of the great things about barbershop in general.
And just to make sure we're not discriminating or anything, when he says if you can't walk the walk, that does not mean that if you're in a wheelchair you can't come. You can absolutely come and.
That's right.
Ta-da!
That's right. And there are some wonderful singers who are in wheelchairs around the country. I mean, that I can think of a number of them, including some that have been with Gateway at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But
anyway, ignore me and my dumb jokes. Back to you guys.
Well,
I was going to say barbershop. The rich part of it is that there are so many opportunities besides all the fraternity and such. That fraternity extends to quartetting. Being able to get into a quartet, and if you're in a quartet, if you're lucky enough to get into a quartet that is in some demand, you get to travel and perform in front of audiences. And as we turn the corner from this whole challenge we've been in for the last year and a half to 2 years with COVID, we will have shows and we will have opportunities to do all those things. And I've been lucky enough, fortunate enough to travel around the world doing this and performing different places. And I can tell you that it's like, just like anything else, that led to all sorts of fun opportunities for fraternity, like practical jokes and stuff that you would do with one another. And Paul, I know you probably have some experience with that too.
Oh boy, yes.
You know,
Tactical
so
jokes?
oh, the stories can go on all night, Zach, about what might have happened.
Okay.
Some of these shows with certain quartets, and when you start to go out on the circuit and you're out there with people that you've dealt with a couple of times, you might just get into some things to keep yourselves entertained.
Okay.
The quartets that you may have gone head to head with in competition, that although you're great friends when you're together, things can happen.
Okay.
Let's say that. You can get to your hotel room and find special gifts left for you.
Oh God. Okay.
Things like that. I mean, I can recall any number of things, but my quartets were sort of known as "you don't mess with us" because we're creative.
Oh God. Okay.
Nice.
Right. So you don't want to mess with creative guys when it comes to this sort of one-upsmanship.
Gotcha.
Right. But we were out on the road with one quartet, and they decided to go there. And so when we went out to do our show, they took all of our clothes from in our dressing room and duct taped everything up.
Oh God.
So
Okay.
they duct taped all our clothing. And I still remember the director of the chorus, saying to that other quartet as we came off the stage and as they were going on, they said, "You really shouldn't have poked the stick through the cage there."
Oh God.
So what we did,
Yeah, I gotta hear this. We're running out, but I gotta hear this.
well, so what we did was we took while they went out, we took all of their clothes, and rather than duct taping it all, we took them and took all the clothing from all their bags, put it into a big ball, duct taped that, put it into a filing. Actually, no, we duct taped it to the ceiling of their dressing room. Then we took duct tape and wrapped it around a file cabinet in their room. Okay, and then kind of left a trail of tape from their bags to the file cabinet.
Oh God.
Nice.
So when they came back off, they spent the next hour trying to get the file cabinet open.
I don't know
And they
why
finally-
next hour got me that much.
When they finally did, they found that it was empty. And we were able to come to the door and go,
Oh
And they had to look up to the ceiling to find their yes.
to find the blob of clothes stuck to the ceiling.
That's
Okay.
hysterical.
Well, I guess we'll save the rest of those stories for SGC live stream 18 plus.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's a callback. All right.
We probably have, oh man. As they say, got a million of them.
Great.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Dad, thanks for being on the show this week.
sir.
I hope everybody has a chance to check that link in our description. And if you're in town this week, please stop by. It's going to be so much fun. And I hope to
Looking
see you
forward
there.
to seeing everybody there.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Padre, you got anything you want to plug before we go?
No, that's it. Just try to be there and we'll all try to have fun together and stay safe.
Right on, buddy. Well, that is the stream for the week. My name is Zach Coleman.
And I'm Joe Hunter.
And on behalf of the Southern Gateway Chorus, I hope you all have a great week.